Hi, this is Lydia Sung with Neoseeker at E3 on day 2. We're here with Richardo from Bethesda to see Dishonored.
Hi everybody. So Dishonored is a game where you play a supernatural assassin named Corvo Atano, and it takes place in the city of Dunwall, which is a city that we've invented from the ground up. And it's sort of our own take on steampunk. There's lots of cool alternate technology, and the city's like struck with a plague, and the player has been framed wrongfully for the murder of the Empress. And so throughout the game, you're trying to find out who did it, why they did it, and get revenge.
So we got to try some of the demo today, going through a bridge, just the end of one long quest line. And we got to see some of those powers, those really cool powers that we keep seeing in the trailers, mixed in with, martial gameplay and stealth. And it really feels like the game is designed in a way that allows the player to really choose how they go about the game. And could you talk a little bit about, some of the different ways, like using the sneaking around versus direct combat, using your powers?
Yeah, so you hit on what is a really important core value for us as developers and as gamers. These are the kind of games that we love to play, and so it's the kind of game that we wanted to make. We've been working on it a little bit over 3 years now, and one of the most important things about it is giving the player really cool powers and tools that let him solve things their own way. So in the demo that you just saw, there's tons of ways just getting inside the building so that you can reach the guy that you're supposed to abduct. And you could use your possess power to take over a fish and swim in through the sewer tunnels. You could use possess power on a guard and walk him. If you've upgraded it high enough, you could walk a guard through the security systems. We also give the power to blink around, teleport around, so you can use that if you want to play sneaky. You can go through the rooftops, break in through windows, or you can just be the guy who has his gadgets upgraded and he's got the most aggressive powers, and you just kick the front door down and decide to murder everyone. So it's really up to the player, but there are consequences to the choices that you make. So if you are the guy who kicks the front door down and just kills indiscriminately, you are committing yourself to a darker ending at the end of the game.
So your actions in the game will actually determine how the ending turns out? Like, is it the main story, or is it sort of additional details, but the main story is destined to go a certain way?
It's both, actually. It's mainly the end. It's mainly the way the story turns out at the end that's impacted by the way that you play. However, we do throw in things along the way too, some more subtle details. Like if you kill tons and tons of city guards just indiscriminately, then occasionally you'll notice that there are more swarms of rats in the streets because things are a little bit more out of control. The city's a little bit more destabilized. But mostly, the way that you play is going to affect how everything turns out at the end.
So during the demo, we actually got to see a later part in the game. We're already a few hours in, and we've already got all these powers at our disposal. But in the beginning of the game, does your character start pretty low level? Do you have that sense of being stronger than your enemies, or do you really want to give players that sense of progression and make them work for it?
Oh, for sure. So when you're playing the real game, you're going to have to make choices about which powers you want, because some choices close off other choices. There's only so many powers that you can afford to buy. So you can't play the game and unlock every single power. You'll have to play again if you want to do that. So yeah, it's definitely and also when you start the game, you don't have any powers, and you actually start out as the bodyguard of the Empress. She dies, you get accused, and you build your character up from there.
So, in addition to the whole the rebuilding your character and getting more powers, so there is going to be a new game plus that you can go into when you finish the game?
Yeah, if you replay the game, you can play in a totally different play style, and you'll get a much different experience.
Some of our readers have been seeing a trend in the trailers and screenshots. They're wondering what's up with the rats. Is that some kind of thematic thing you guys have going? The symbolism of the rats?
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite things. When we were working on Dishonored, we did a lot of research, and we were looking into London whenever it was beset with plague, and rats just kind of emerged as it started out as a cool ambient atmosphere type thing. There's rats everywhere. Now they're dangerous, they attack you, and then we were like, what if the player had a power to summon a swarm of rats? And it just turned into this really fun power where you can, if you're getting attacked by 4 or 5 guards, you can drop a swarm of rats on them and they'll just start going crazy. The rats crawl all over them, they bite them. So, and you can combine your powers in really cool ways too. Like one of the ways we've seen players escape battles is like a huge pack of guards are coming towards them. They throw a swarm of rats down, and then they equip possession, and they possess one of their own rats and escape. So.
So which one's your favorite skill right now that you would recommend every player needs to get?
Oh man, that is a good question because I like to replay the game lots of different ways. You know, I have to say probably my favorite power is the power that we give you at the beginning of the game. The player has to choose all his powers, but we do give one power away to every player, and that's Blink. And it's a short-range teleport. And what's really cool about it is if you're the stealth player, you'll probably use Blink to do things like get up onto rooftops, leap across really wide gaps. But if you want to play like a really like hardcore assassin, it's a great way to set up a kill. So watch a guy's patrol and blink right behind him and take him out in the blink of an eye, so to speak.
Nice. Well, we're really looking forward to the full game, and thank you, Richardo from Bethesda, for showing us Dishonored. Why don't you leave off and let us know, when players can expect it?
Look for Dishonored on October 9th on PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360.
All right, this is Neoseeker. Thank you very much.